Oh, you can send me the one before.
Guys, I think this slide that you have inside the box comes from the fundus region. In fact, it says the stomach what? Fundus. So remember the top portion. Here's the, once again, if you look at your handout, it tells you that you need to identify what? The layers, yes? That's the first task. You need to go after the mucosa, the submucosa, the muscularis externa, and serosa, or adventitia. Okay? Then you look at the details. But first you need to identify the layers. See, this is the lumen of the stomach right here, where food would be right here. These are those gastric pits. All of these are these finger-like projections. See that? These are the gastric pits, where supposedly in the wall of each one of these we have simple what? Simple columnar. But again, this is a scanning. If I really want to see the simple columnar, just like what you did in AMP1, you have to go to what? To 40. Yes? Because on the scanning you cannot see the epithelial tissues. You have to go what? To 40 to take a look at it. But these are the gastric pits, where you have the simple columnar. Right in between you have lamina propria. Can you all see this little kind of, I guess, dark pink right here? See that? See right here? Right below the epithelium, or right below those gastric pits? That's the muscularis what? Mucosa. Muscularis what? Mucosa. So because what is mucosa made about? Epithelium, lamina propria, and what? Muscularis what? Mucosa. So that's the lumen. From here to here, this would divide the mucosa. This would divide submucosa. What is submucosa made of? Connective tissues, arteries, and what? Veins, blood vessels. So the mucosa. You can go this way, you can go this way. That's enough. That's the mucosa. This is the submucosa. Submucosa. And then you get to muscularis what? Muscularis externa. And remember, since this is the stomach, remember in the case of the stomach, we have how many layers of muscle?
3.
3. So the one which is closer, if this is the submucosa, so the layer which is closer to the submucosa, that would be what? Oblique. This is the serosa, where there's nothing, or adventitia right here. So this layer would be what? Longitudinal. And half of it in between, that would be what? Circular. So oblique, circular, and what? Longitudinal. And then serosa or what? Adventitia. So you can either go this way, I mean, as long as, so here is the mucosa, the submucosa, and then muscularis what? External, with oblique, circular, and what? Longitudinal. And there is, again, these are all smooth muscles, smooth muscles, smooth muscle. So you look at, as long as you know here's the submucosa, so the layer closer to submucosa, since this is the stomach, that would be what? The oblique. One thing you need to do, guys, is that the way we differentiate between the stomach and the small intestine, remember the epithelium is still a simple what? Simple columnar. I want you to take a look at the shape or configuration of this gastric pit, and later on when we get to the villi, take a look at the differences. Because that's the only way you cannot differentiate between the stomach and the small intestine. Because when you come in here to the muscle, macroscopically, if you know what you're looking at, then that would be fine. But as far as really the landmark, to say this is the stomach, so that way you can say this is oblique, you always have to look at what? You really have to look at the mucosa. And keep that in mind. Look, see how this gastric pit looks like a volcano? And take a look at those villi and microvilli. There, you can see the difference. And you can say that's the small intestine, and this will be what? And then the rest of the stuff will fall in. So if I say that's the gastric, so that's the stomach right here, then I know this is of course the submucosa, and this is the muscularis what? Externa with, again, since it's the stomach, then that would be what? Oblique, circular, and what? Longitudinal. But the first thing you have to establish, that's the stomach. There is another slide